All right, so today on Whiskey Eats, we are going to review E.H. Taylor Bottled and Bond. Excited about this one, so thank y'all for joining another episode of Whiskey Eats. All right, so yes, we are going to review the E.H. Taylor, the small batch. Now, this one in particular, a little history about E.H. Taylor now. Colonel Edmond Haynes Taylor. He was one of the first ones to start the Bottled and Bond Act. Now, of course, Bottled and Bond is where a whiskey has to be at least 51% corn, a malted barley, rye, or wheat. It has to be aged at least 4 years. It has to be made on American soil in a new charred oak barrel. And so he was one of the first ones to kind of get that going. And so this is E.H. Taylor Small Batch. It's done by, of course, Buffalo Trace Distillery. I think it used to be OFC or something like that, but now it is Buffalo Trace who distills this particular whiskey. He is a heavy producer, one of the original bourbon producers. And this stuff is phenomenal, but we're going to go ahead and give our tasting notes. As you can already see, I already kind of tapped into a little bit here. So it's not gonna be a long review, but I at least wanted to do a review on it because it is such a good whiskey. And what I am going to eventually do is I'm gonna start up my Buffalo Trace battle. I think the last one we did, it was a store pick of Buffalo Trace bourbon versus Blanton's, and then Blanton's came out on top. Now I've got a few other ones I want to try. Of course, I want to try the Eagle Rare, which I've had before, but I want to do the review on it. I got something in my eye. And then, of course, I want to do the Wellers. We've already reviewed those. We want to try them up against something. So that's the plan. So I want to make sure that I get a review on this one first. And so let's go ahead and do it. And as you can see there, that color is like a apricot golden honey color. Nice, pretty color there. Now the smelling notes on it. Smell some like roasted marshmallows, little pineapple, maybe some fig in there. You have like a wood component, and of course honey and vanilla. Now, what about the taste? I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a very, very delicious, just sophisticated drink. And so let's go ahead and see what we get this time. This has been cracked open for probably about 2 weeks now. So let's see what we got. Man, that is really good. That tastes like deliciousness. I need to go back in and get some tasting notes because I was just enjoying the actual bourbon. And that's one thing about Buffalo Trace. To me, they really do a phenomenal job on all of their whiskeys. But this one in particular, this is stellar. So you get that orange slice. It's a toffee note that you taste. Now, not orange rind, but you do get like an orange slice. When you talk about like orange slice, to me, orange slices or oranges don't taste like orange juice. Orange slices taste completely different than orange juice. And it tastes like a organic orange slice. It tastes like an orange slice. And then you get like some cinnamon there, as in the mid palate. And then surprisingly, it does have a long finish too, because it's still going on right now. But it's a creamy mouthfeel. It's very viscous. It's only 100 proof, but it drinks right at its proof point. So it's not overly hot or it's not too light on the tail. This is really delicious whiskey. It always comes in this beautiful sleeve. They got single barrels, they got cask strengths, they got ryes, they got all type of different ones. This one, the MSRP on it is $45. Now, I believe this is the one I got down in Houston, Texas. I do got a backup for this one. But I got this down in Houston, Texas. I got it at Grand Liquor. And I'm gonna tell you what happened. Now, this particular whiskey right here, the Riverset, this is one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. This is one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. It is a store pick of a straight rye Riverset, and it is absolutely just incredible. Now, you know what? I only got a little bit left, but I think I'm going to do a review on it just because of how good it is. Matter of fact, I will do a review on it. I'm saving this little bit that I got here because it was just such a delicious rye. It's only like maybe 5 years aged, I think, something like that, but it is really good. But I got this down in Houston, and I wanted this one. I wanted the E.H. Taylor, and the lady was like, well, you have to buy one of our store picks. And so I tasted this one. I tasted the Blue Run, and I think it was something else. It was a Whistle Pigs 10-year or 12-year. And I kept coming back to this one. It was the cheapest one out of all of them. And I was like, man, this one is really good. So I said, I'll take this one. And then I was able to purchase this one for retail. At the time, I think it was like $42 or $45 or something like that. But this is a stellar whiskey, and so is this. I'm almost mad that I didn't get two of these. That's how impressive this was to me. Completely different, expressions. Like, this is a bourbon, and this is a rye, so I wouldn't compare the two of them. But this is one of my favorite whiskeys. One of my favorite whiskeys. This is absolutely phenomenal too as well. But getting back to E.H. Taylor, yes, is it worth MSRP? Absolutely. Is it worth a little bit above it? I would say, because these are so hard to find. These are probably harder to find, at least in this area, than Blanton's. You can find Blanton's more than you can find these. And I found this one down in Houston, Texas. I found the other one at Total Wine. And so they're very rare and hard to find. So if you can get it for MSRP, absolutely. If you have to pay a little bit more for your first one, trust me, you won't regret it. It's a very delicious sip. It's a higher proof, so it's a little bit higher than Blanton's, which is, I think, 93 proof. This one is 100 proof because it's bottled in bond. And so would I recommend it? Absolutely. Is it delicious? Absolutely. Go get it. So thank you for joining this episode of Whiskey Eats. And like we always say, please always drink moderately and responsibly. Y'all take care. E.H. Taylor. Bourbon at its finest.